Let me ask you something. Have you ever just stopped and wondered about your own consciousness? I mean, what if the reality you experience every single day, that constant chatter of thoughts and plans and worries, what if that's only half the story? It's a pretty wild thought, right? That our brain is split into two hemispheres, and they aren't just doing different jobs. No, neuroscientists are finding they actually create two totally different parallel versions of reality. One is this world of details, of time, of me, and the other is a world of just boundless connection in the now. And the craziest part, most of us are only really aware of one of them. So let's actually break this down. Think of it like a map of your own mind. On one side, you've got the left brain. This is your inner narrator, the voice that tells your story. It's obsessed with the past and the future. It's what gives us language, logic, and that feeling of that I am a single person, totally separate from everything else. But then on the other side, you have the right brain, and it's living purely in this present moment. It doesn't see individuals, it just sees a connected we. It doesn't think in words, it feels the world through sensation, through awe, this feeling of being part of something just magnificent. So you might be wondering, how can we be so sure about this? Well, it's thanks to the absolutely incredible true story of a Harvard-trained neuroanatomist named Dr. Bolte Taylor. She got the rarest of chances to explore this whole division from the inside out during what was probably one of the most terrifying, and it turns out, enlightening experiences a human can have. It was the morning of December 10th, 1996, and Dr. Taylor's world just started to come apart. At first, it was just a strange pulsing pain behind her eye. But then, things got weird. She was on her exercise machine and looked down at her hands, and they looked like primitive claws, just not her own. In the bathroom, the sound of the shower was this deafening roar, and then, the final terrifying moment. Her right arm went completely limp, paralyzed. A blood vessel had just burst in the left half of her brain. But here's where the story takes a turn you would just never expect. In that moment of absolute crisis, as her left brain, the part that controls language, identity, all of it, was shutting down, another part of her brain kicked in. And it wasn't panic. It was scientific curiosity. You see it right here in her words. This horrifying medical emergency had just become the research project of a lifetime. And as that constant chatter from her left brain just faded away, something incredible happened. All the stress, all the deadlines, that nagging sense of I have to do this, it all just dissolved. She was floating purely in her right hemisphere, in a state she calls blissful euphoria. There were no boundaries between her and the universe around her, no past, no future. Just this huge, peaceful, and joyful present moment. It took her 8 years to recover. But Dr. Taylor didn't just rebuild her own mind. She brought back a kind of map for all of us. She realized that inside these two hemispheres, we all have 4 very distinct personalities, or characters, that are running the show every single day, shaping how we think and feel and act. All right, so let's meet the crew living inside your head. First up in your left brain, you've got character 1. This is your inner professional, right? It makes the to-do lists, it gets stuff done. Right beside it is character 2, the protector. This is the part that holds on to old pains and traumas, trying to keep you safe from getting hurt again. Then we jump over to the right brain, and here lives character 3, the free spirit. This is the playful, curious, adventurous part of you that just wants to have fun. And finally, there's character 4, the wise sage. This is that deep part of you that feels connected to everything, the part that experiences true awe. Now here's the kicker. Our modern world, it's pretty much built by and for character 1. From a young age, we're taught that what matters is logic, productivity, getting ahead, and this creates a huge imbalance inside of us, where our emotional pain, our need for simple play, and our ability to connect to that deeper sense of peace, they all kind of get ignored, just left running on autopilot in the background. But here is the truly game-changing idea that Dr. Taylor brought back. We don't have to let these characters run our lives on autopilot. We can actually, with a little awareness, consciously choose which one we want to be in any given moment. We can learn to live a whole-brained life. And the key to this is a fascinating biological fact she calls the 90-second rule. See, any pure emotional response like a flash of anger or fear or even joy, the chemical components of it are completely flushed out of your body in less than 90 seconds. So if you feel an emotion for longer than that, it's because your brain is actively choosing to rerun the thought loop that keeps triggering it. That 90-second window? That's our moment of power. So how do we actually use this? It's a really simple 3-step practice. Step 1 is just to observe. You ask yourself, hey, which of my 4 characters is at the wheel right now? Step 2 is to pause. Just take a breath and watch that 90-second emotional wave pass by without letting it drag you out to sea. And then, step 3, you choose. You intentionally call on a different character to come forward. So, what does this actually look like in real life? Okay, let's say your character 1 is completely stressed out about a work deadline. Instead of just grinding harder, you can consciously hit pause and invite your playful character 3 out. Put on your favorite song and just dance around for a minute. Or maybe your painful character 2 is stuck replaying some old argument. You can choose to shift into your wise character 4 by just taking a second to feel grateful for something simple. Right here, right now. That is the practice of whole-brained living. And this whole idea, it's about so much more than just managing stress. It's really about unlocking a deeper reality that is always, always available to us. A profound sense of awe for the unbelievable miracle of just being alive. To really get this, Dr. Taylor tells this incredible story. Think about it. The specific egg cell that was going to become you actually formed inside your mother while she herself was still a fetus inside your grandmother's womb. That one single cell waited for decades for its one chance. And in one specific moment, it met one specific sperm and you began. The odds against that exact combination happening are just mind-boggling. And from that one cell, this explosion of life happened. You became a team, a cooperative of 50 trillion molecular geniuses. Just stop and think about that number for a second. 50 trillion individual cells all working together in perfect harmony right this second, just to create the experience of you here, listening to my voice. That's not a machine. That is a living, breathing miracle. You know, for Dr. Taylor, this wasn't just some nice thought. It was the only truth she had left after she lost everything. She couldn't walk. She couldn't talk. She couldn't remember her life. But none of that mattered, because she was alive. And that was the only thing that was real. It was everything. And what all this really shows us is a breathtaking truth. Our default state, the way we're actually hardwired in our right brain, is not stress or fear or division. It's peace, it's connection, it's awe. We are literally built for it. That feeling Dr. Taylor had during our stroke, it wasn't a strange side effect. It was a homecoming. A return to a part of ourselves that is always there, just waiting for us to pause and choose to listen. If this inspired you, like, subscribe, and keep exploring the universe with us.